There are three main ranking factors in local SEO. These are the most important things to pay attention to, and these are how you want to think about local SEO. So the first one we're going to talk about relevance, right? If I'm looking for a coffee shop, I don't want a shoe shop to show up. And so I need my business to be relevant to my customers. So we definitely focus on relevance. Like if I'm a mechanic, what do people what do people want to know? What do they want to learn about? What questions do they have? So I'm answering these questions. I really want to be specific to my industry and help my customers. Now, my customers might not use the same jargon that I use in my business. So we want to be careful for that. So relevance is huge. Some relevance tactics, include your business's keywords in your description and in your content, not your Google business profile name. Create relevant content, use title tags and meta descriptions, use schema markup. So, all the regular SEO stuff and selecting the right category in your Google business profile. How do you know it's the right category? Well, you're going to go look at your competition, see what their categories are, right? You also want to set up like links from local industry relevant websites. So, if a lot of businesses do really well when they do volunteer work or when they support nonprofit business and they get a link back to them. That's a great link. So things like that. Just you want to be relevant to what people are searching for and to your customers. So that's why I always say to every client we have, hey, do your customers ask questions? And when they say yes, I'm like, do you write them down? And they look at me blankly. Then I say, it's a really great idea to get a pen and paper and write down every question your customers ask and then make an FAQ page because you're literally using their language and it's on your website. So they might not even have to call you to find their answer, but they will call you because they now trust you, right? Because you answered their question. And it's a way for consumers to get to know your business online, right? You don't know all those little numbers on Google Analytics. Every one of those is a person that's visited your site. And we have to look at it like that, right? So when you think I only have 100 visitors or I only have 50 visitors a month, you had 50 visitors to your website. Okay. Now let's talk about proximity. There is something you cannot control with Google Business Profile. It is the second most important ranking factor, and it is proximity. How close are you to the person searching? You cannot control this. There's no point in trying. So it's about distance, right? If I'm in Richmond, and say I'm a photographer and I want to get people from Abbotsford, I won't show up as well as a photographer in Abbotsford. It's just the way it is. People don't want to travel more than 20 minutes for their essential items to support businesses. And it's a huge opportunity, right? If we're a local business to support our community, to build our community, right? You can't just do online things. You got to do some offline things like talk to your customers. So remember that 20-minute mark, right? So proximity tactic is basically you can't do much. It's out of your control. It's unique to each person's search and where they are. So if I search here and then I walk down the street and I search there, I'm probably going to get different search results. And there are ways to test this, which we will show you for free. For free. So proximity, not something you can control. Relevance, something you can control. Prominence, the next thing you can control. So how well known are you? Right? What are you doing to become well known? How are people finding you? Right? Prominence equals trust. When I know a business and when that business has a good reputation, I will trust to work with them. We all know that word of mouth, often called WOM, is what can really affect a business. So prominence is related to trust. How do we get trust? Focus on getting links back to our site. So with local SEO, a lot of that's going to be the citation building, writing articles, having great content, linking, reviews. So reviews are super important, right? Because they build trust. We all read reviews. It's really nice to know what you're going to get from business. And when people write reviews, they're probably being really honest. And a bad review just really helps us build how well we're going to do and how we're going to respond. And we'll get into the responding of reviews in a little bit. So What we want is we want to be strong, right? We could be stronger than our competition doing this. We can build out our reviews. We can build out our NAP profiles. We can support our community and organizations with nonprofits. The directory building is where we're going to focus because as more people link to us, the better off we are. So the other thing we want to think about with local SEO is keyword research, right? Keyword research is foundational to SEO. Yesterday, I got asked, do you focus on 1 to 2 keywords per page, or do you do keyword clusters? I was like, I actually still, I'm focused on 1 to 2 keywords per page, and then you'll rank for many more. Keyword research is foundational. When you're doing local SEO, you're going to tack on the Vancouver or at the end or at the front, right? Or tack on BC. It's location geo-targeting, the near me or near you that we might want to focus on. So I just wanted to point out down here at the bottom of this slide that it's got the customer versus business owner search. So as a business owner, I think my keyword should be artisan plant-based pizza restaurant versus veggie pizza, healthy pizza, best vegan pizza, right? So although short tail, now you can show up for artisan plant-based pizza restaurant, right? If I show search of veggie pizza. So it's just something to keep in mind that as a business owner, we're going to use more technical language than a searcher. So when we're doing our keyword research, we always check the SERPs, and we want to know what our competitors are doing, which opens the door for me saying that next week we're talking about competitor research and how we do that. So that's going to be really fun. Identifying keywords, long tail keywords, always the best. Avoid the industry jargon. Think about those how questions because they're the most common, right? And we want to think about intent, right? If I'm going to like pool professional near me, right, is going to be, maybe I would use that as a service page. You know, how to clean my pool would be a informational search, which is probably on my blog. So those are kind of how we want to differentiate the hows. So content and local SEO, the idea is that we publish content frequently. So because of the freshness factor, Google likes new content. We're updating our old content. We're using keywords with our localization, right? So we're trying to persuade customers that we know what we're talking about. And we know that the longer they stay on our site, it's a ranking factor called dwell time. So we want to write good content, not just write for the sake of writing. We want good content, which might take a little extra time. So you don't have to publish something every week. Once a month can work. Just try to be consistent, right? And talk about your area. Talk about where you are when you are writing. People really like the personalized approach. Local landing pages. So I just wanted to point out what a great landing page looks like. You know, you have the title with the keyword in it. You got the CTA buttons, call to action buttons, right? You might have a map in there. Maps are really helpful on the contact us page. Want the clean URL with the keyword in it. We want specific information about location, maybe location features, you know, and then you can connect with social links and you have your reviews, right? So just to keep in mind when you're writing a page, local SEO and regular SEO work very much the same, although you're going to be inserting geo-targeted keywords. Content. There's only one thing to say on this slide, which is right for the user. That's who you're talking to. Pick somebody you're talking to. You know, when I started doing videos online, I would pick a friend I was talking to in my imagination, and that really helped. So pick Bob, who just got his carburetor something done, because I know a lot about mechanics, or talk about the best swimming hole in Washington for new homeowners, something like that. So strategy, keywords, content, local SEO. Do all the things we talked about before and then add these local components, right? Really, the other 50% of local SEO is Google Business Profile. So we want to use the local SEO strategy. We want to use that plus the NAP building and things like that. We want to make sure our keywords are in our headings and our titles and our descriptions. I know I've repeated myself before, right? We definitely want our hours and directions and contact info on our website, and anything else that can help a customer, right? So the whole concept, it would feel great if somebody, before they came to my business, they were all ready to buy. And the way you do that is because we're all looky loos, right? We're all looking for things online. And when something resonates with us, that business sticks in our head. And that's what we want. And the people that do the best are people that support their communities, are in their communities, and being very local.